Hello everybody, and today we are figuring out my magical readathon TBR, aka my April TBR. Now, I know already 2 books that are going to be on this TBR, and I gotta say that's not a great start because they're 2 books that are not on my physical TBR, 2 books that I hadn't planned to put on my April TBR. So let's see what Magical Readathon has in store for me. As always, I am combining 2 careers because my fictional character is a would-be assassin who is basically trying to strengthen her illusion skills, and so she is trying to do all the classes for the illusionist rogue, but she is officially signed up to be a rift architect. That is kind of her, her fake identity. Basically, she's going after rift architect, which is also going to provide some skills that will be useful as her in her later assassin role. But so, I'm combining 2 careers. I always regret this whenever I get to Magical Readathon, but I have so far always managed to do so, and we will hopefully continue to do that. I actually don't think I have short books at this point in time. I don't really have any sort of like graphic novels. I just have one, but I think I might actually still read it today. So this is not ideal for a readathon like this, so we'll have to figure out what I can make work, but also what I can make work with these prompts, because they are not really ideal. Let's start off with the Rift Architect career, because for that one I don't have any idea yet what I'm going to be reading, and a lot of that is because a lot of it is like randomized or stuff like that. So for Rift Architect, the first prompt, the first class I have to take is astronomy, and for that I need to read a book that is a recommendation for my zodiac sign. So I'm a Cancer, so we're gonna have to look for zodiac recommendations, and I don't know whether, for example, Goodreads might have zodiac recommendations. Zodiac, is that how you find these things? Or like books for Cancers or what? But then I feel like I'm just gonna get like recommendations, yeah, for Cancer patients. No, I just want for the sign, for zodiac, Cancer or what? Books for a Cancer astrology series. Okay, these books are for you, Cancer. You're known to be empathetic, intuitive, persuasive, and unpredictable. Of course, you're known to get crabby. No. You are also the most sensitive out of all the zodiac signs. You tend to take upon other people's hurts or joys like it was your own. Here are some books that might appeal to the tender little crab heart of yours. So what do we have here? Wait, should I screen grab this? Probably, right? Okay, so we have Lily and the Octopus, which is a book that a friend of mine read and recommended. Extraordinary Means, no idea what that is. The Mothers by Brit Bennett, Challenger Deep, The Last Time We Say Goodbye. Like, ideally I just want a book that's on my physical TBR, but that's probably far-fetched. So we're gonna have to go for like a book that, is even on my like TBR, which for the time being is just like that, what was it called? Lily and the Octopus one, but... Every Day, My Oxford Year, Meet Cute. Is that it? Like, okay, so Lily and the Octopus so far is the option here. 9 self-help books. No, not on self-help books, please. Here, books for Cancer. Eesh. Blah 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 blah. Trespasses by Louise Kennedy. The Personal Librarian. No. What the Fireflies New? No. A Killer Sunday? No. Those We Throw Away Are Diamonds. Maine. I have heard of like almost none of these. Horse by Geraldine Brooks, I've heard of, but still. No! This is gonna be... Oh, a book by Outtro who shares your zodiac sign. This could be a nice sort of like, bypassing, and that is perfect. Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. So it should be a Zodiac recommendation. This is not exactly a Zodiac recommendation, but if it's written by a Cancer, shouldn't that like mean that a Cancer is more likely to also enjoy this book? Like I'm putting this on, right? So Kindred is a sci-fi book in which we're looking at time travel. So we follow a black main character who travels back in time to a time in which slavery was, you know, normal in the US, and there she saves the life of a young boy who's part of a white family, and so I'm assuming the book is going to explore a lot about race and slavery and the US history. So yeah, very eager to give this one another go, because you know, this will be my second Octavia E. Butler. I really enjoyed the first one. This is a different one because the other one is part of the series, I think, but you know, I don't mind going a little bit out of order here, so this is the one that I'm going to be picking up for my April TBR. So yeah, nice, like that. That went much better than expected, because this could go totally wrong, these type of challenges. So I'm happy that at least with one of them already I've been able to put a book off of my TBR in there. We're gonna skip over inscription for the time being. Then we have spells and incantations. So we need to use a random number generator to create a number of letters that will then be like the amount of letters that my title needs to be. So we're gonna pull up a random number generator, and I think she suggested to kind of go between 10 and 30 in terms of the letter count. So I've entered the, I don't know whether you can actually see this because the sun is super glaring on my, so it's generated 29 for me. Yeah, I think you can see that. 29, Jesus, that is like the longest title known to man or what? To shape a dragon's breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Unfortunate. Yeah, this one will be too long if I use the subtitle, and not long enough if I only use that, because these are two books that I tried to get on this TBR. This is just impossible. Oh, the delicate tree, that seems like a nice one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, we are definitely ignoring, I know that's not even a subtitle, right? That is just like a, it just says what the, okay. We ignore this subtitle, right? That's fine, right? And I think it's out, right? The Delicate Dream Department Store. It has to be out. Because otherwise, this is, because it's coming out this year. Shut up. Delicate Dream Department Store, yes. Yes. Aha, buy now. Okay. I am not gonna bother trying to find something else anymore. This will have to do another book that completely was not planned for this month. But so, The Delicate Dream Department Store by Mie Lee. And let me tell you, I know nothing about this book because it's totally a cover ad. In a mysterious town hidden in our collective subconscious, there's a department store that sells dreams. Day and night, visitors, both human and animal, shuffle in to purchase their latest adventure. Each floor specializes in a specific type of dream. Childhood memories, flood dreams, ice skating dreams of stardom. Flying dreams are almost always sold out. Some seek dreams of loved ones who have died. For Penny, an enthusiastic new hire working at the store is the opportunity of a lifetime. As she uncovers the workings of this whimsical world, she bonds with a cast of unforgettable characters, including Dalorgut, the flamboyant and wise owner. A captivating story that will leave a lingering magical feeling in readers' minds. Nice. It's a duology, but yeah. Found that one. Whew. Next up, we have the conjuration class for which I need to use a color wheel. I hate all these randomizations. No, I like to randomize, but when you have a small TBR like me, then this becomes a little bit more of an issue. Alright, so it's starting with, what is this? Jesus. Starting with traffic green, but we are generating to pink. Well, this means that I'm not reading this book today because that is a pink book on my TBR. I mean, it's mainly green, but we will ignore that. And that is The Girl from the Sea, which has pink here, pinkish at the bottom. So I feel like it is clearly a pink and green book, so we can use it for pink, right? Girl from the Sea is a book that I was supposed to read today, which is a graphic novel about, you know, two girls who meet and I assume have a queer relationship, because this is a book that I bought in Gaze the Word, and one of them has a mysterious background, which is probably that she's a mermaid or something like that, which I will assume from this title. But in any case, a lovely coming-of-age queer story graphic novel that will also be a nice, easy thing to add to my April TBR, which is now starting to look a little bit disastrous. Then, for psionics and divination, I need to do a prediction bingo. So I need to create a bingo board of predictions that I think might come true for a certain book. That I will take that opportunity, which is sort of an easy prompt to put in to Shape a Dragon's Breath, which is the book for my dragon-based read-along, There Be Dragons, for the month of April. This is currently a standalone. I mean, it's not a standalone. This is the first in the series, but it's the only one out at this point in time. It is by an Indigenous author, and I have actually kind of forgotten about the synopsis of this. I do believe that it's like a book about a young girl with like, she's from a minority group. She has a connection to dragons, which hasn't been seen in a very long time. And then she basically is shipped off to this sort of like training academy, which is then colonizer run. And so it's a lot about those dynamics. That is, if I remember correctly, the synopsis of this book. That means that I have one prompt left for this particular challenge, and that is to write 3 titles down and to pick them randomly. I'm just going to use a random number generator. I'll tell you like which book represents which number. First up, we have Unwell Women, a story, true medicine and myth in a man-made world. This is a book, a non-fiction about the way in which women have been mistreated in medicine, the way in which, you know, it's more difficult to get a diagnosis for women, or the way in which, you know, clinical trials aren't really done on women all that often. For example, a lot of medicine isn't really tested on women because of our menstrual cycles and hormone differences throughout the month, which make it more difficult to, you know, standardize your testing or something like that. But you know, this is a book that I need to read in April, and so I would love to get it onto this TBR. Another one, which I will not be able to give you a synopsis for, is Seeds of War by João F. Silva, which is a fantasy book that I have on Kindle. I don't know the synopsis for this one. This was actually a mispurchase to some extent. I thought I was buying another one which had a similar cover, but you know, I'll still definitely give it a go. I definitely want to still try it out, and I'm gonna put as a third book actually the prequel novella that came out in that series as well. So that is going to be my 1, 2, 3, and we shall generate, and it came up as 1, meaning I can fit Unwell Women onto this TBR. Perfect. Now, moving on to my second career. Yep, I know. Second career is the Illusionist Rogue career. One of these prompts is the same as the prompt for Rift Architect, and that is the prediction bingo. So the prediction bingo, I will be using this book, similar to what I said earlier. And then we have 2 other books that are on this, 2 other prompts. First is Shapeshifting. It's, you need to read a book that by an author who blurbed the last 5-star book that you read. Now, the last 5-star book that I read is The Light of All That Falls by James Islington, which is not blurred by any author. It's only blurbed by like magazines and stuff like that. The next one is the Truth of the Aleke by Outtro. I'm always wrong with the name, so it'll be on the screen. This one is blurbed by C.L. Clarke, the author of The Unbroken, which is a book that's also on my 12 recommendations by 12 friends list, so I'm gonna finally be reading it. And I actually don't really remember anything about that. I think we are following somebody who has been kind of stolen away from a minority population and has basically been brought up by the colonizers of that region. Or I could be totally mistaking this now with a dragon book that I also put on my list. So basically I don't know what this book is about. It's part of the Sapphic trifecta, so there will be a Sapphic romance in there. And you know, I've been meaning to read it. I didn't get around to it in the year that it came out. It's one book of the Sapphic trifecta I didn't get around to then, and I'm very happy that I'll finally get around to it, but it also was one of those that I'm like, this is totally not planned to put it in here. And then the final prompt is Art of Illusion, game or play in the title, and this was horrible because I only have one book on my want to read list that has one of these words on it. It actually has both of these words on it, and that is called Playing Games by Huma Qureshi. And I feel like let me be a better booktuber here and actually look at the synopsis. I'm not going to do it for the fantasy that I put on here because I actually don't really enjoy knowing the synopsis so close to reading a book, but for a what I assume this book to be, which is more like a contemporary, I don't mind it that much. So, the remarkable debut novel from critically acclaimed writer Huma Qureshi, a poignant story of art and sisterhood, family, marriage, and betrayal. Hannah has a perfect job, a perfect home, a perfect marriage. It is her younger sister Mira who is a mess, but Hannah wants children and her husband is hesitating and perhaps her control is slipping. Mira dreams of a creative life, but she's stuck working at a local cafe. She hates her flatmate and Hannah's dismissal of her writing, but she can't find the right inspiration. One night, a fight between Hannah and her husband sparks something in Mira. The words ring in her head and she starts typing. But what can you borrow from your sister and what can be forgiven? Interesting. Interesting conversation about, you know, source material and inspiration in writing. So yeah, okay. So my TBR for Magical Readathon includes these 4 books: the Dallergut Dream something department store, and Playing Games, and The Unbroken. So that means 7 books, right? And then on top of that, I still need to fit in, like I still need to read, or like I don't have to, but I ideally want to also still fit Seeds of War. Was that the name? I think so, right? By João F. Silva on here, and potentially the prequel novella, but that might be pushing it a little bit. But so, yeah. I have my work cut out for me in the month of April. The good thing about the month of April is that I only really have like one buddy read on there, which is To Shape a Dragon's Breath. So I did have a little bit more leeway this month in terms of adding stuff in there that I wasn't expecting to. And I am still happy that I do still have 3 other books off of my physical TBR that have made it onto this list. That means that I still can get quite a nice reduction in my physical TBR as well in the month of April. But I have a few books that have due date in May, which is why I also wanted to get Seeds of War on there, because that is a book that will have to be read before a certain point in time in May. So I might still try and make that into this TBR, but it's going to be a little bit of a challenging one. I think there are quite some shorter stuff on here, luckily, but I definitely think that The Unbroken together with To Shape a Dragon's Breath are going to be like the long ones for that month. So it might still be quite challenging. But so, with that'll be my April TBR. Let me know your thoughts on this TBR, what you will be reading in April, what you're most excited about, and what you're most excited about me finally getting to. But so yeah, with that I'm gonna end this video. See you guys for the next one. Bye!